And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of the Inland Empire, right here in sunny Southern California, it's Robert Cardoza Live, where we talk about politics, money, and you. This is the intersection of business and politics. And now here's your host, Robert Cardoza. And welcome aboard. I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to the intersection of business and politics right here on Robert Cardoza Live, where I do an honest, unbiased analysis of the issues confronting you today that affect the decisions that you're going to make for both your personal and your business life. I come to you every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time on Spreaker Radio, Blog Talk Radio, MyCast, Live Radio, and countless terrestrial stations worldwide. I also broadcast on Roar 1776 Radio every Friday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. And starting next Friday, we'll be also on 365 Live with Roar Radio from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Every Friday. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and YouTube, where you can listen to all of my shows 24/7. Go to my website at www.robertcardozalive.com for archives of all my radio and television shows. You can also access my show live right from my website each day, simply by clicking on that icon labeled Listen Live. Email me at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. That's where I get all the emails I deal with here on the show. And you can call into my show if you want to comment or just engage me in conversation about anything. I don't care what it is. Call directly into the studio at 646-652-2464. Again, that number is 646-652-2464. Now, on today's show, we're going to discuss what's in the news, new legislation the IRS loses, and I'm going to answer your emails just like I always do. Today, my special contributor is David Garrett on the law, and my special guest is Dr. Stephen Tidwell. He'll be calling us from Pennsylvania with his series, Tomorrow's Dentistry Today. But right now, I want you to know that at 4:02 p.m. Pacific Time, it's currently 61 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, that's down from 62, not much, on its way to 53 degrees. A little cloudy. We're expecting some rain a little bit later on. We'll see what actually happens. But right now, let's talk about the news. We've capsulated it so we can get as much of it in here as we can for you, so you can talk to your friends, your neighbors, the people you work with or work for, and they'll know that you know what's going on in the world today. First up, this is an Associated Press news break. Los Angeles prosecutors reject elder abuse case against Casey Kasem's widow. Well, I guess that's a done deal. Now, let's talk about a new trial is expected for a man convicted in the Chandra Levy death. You know, a man convicted of killing Washington intern Chandra Levy is expected to get a new trial after government attorneys on today, actually, said the interests of justice would be best served by one. Today, after more than a year of sporadic hearings and legal wrangling, government attorneys withdrew their opposition to a new trial for Ingmar Guadik in a 4-page motion that told a judge they were preparing to retry him. Guadalupe's attorneys had previously asked the judge to grant him a new trial because they said a key witness in the case, Guadik's one-time cellmate, gave false or misleading testimony during his 2010 trial. Guadik's attorneys said prosecutors knew or should have known the testimony was problematic and investigated further. The government continues to believe the jury's verdict was correct. Prosecutors wrote in their motion adding that they didn't believe anything else learned during a post-trial investigation casts doubt on the defendant's guilt. Well, there you go. That's the way it's supposed to be, I suppose. I'm not sure what these guys think they're doing, but that's sure not going to get us anywhere. Well, U.S. officials say that Iran enters Iraqi fight for key oil refinery. Iran has entered the fight to retake a major Iraqi oil refinery from Islamic State militants, contributing small numbers of troops, including some operating artillery and other heavy weapons, in support of advancing Iraqi ground forces, U.S. defense officials said today. Two U.S. defense officials said Iranian forces have taken a significant offensive role in the Beiji operation in recent days in conjunction with Iraqi Shiite militia. The officials were not authorized to discuss the matter publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity. We've heard that phrase a number of times. One official said Iranians are operating artillery, 122-millimeter rocket systems, and surveillance and reconnaissance drones to help the Iraqi counteroffensive. The Iranian role was not mentioned in a new U.S. military statement asserting that Iraqi security forces, with U.S. help, had managed to establish a land route into the Beiji refinery compound. The statement today by the U.S. military headquarters in Kuwait said Iraqis have begun reinforcing and resupplying forces isolated inside the refinery compound. Well, Clinton received sensitive info on a private email account. You know what? Former Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton received information on her private email account about the deadly attack on U.S. diplomatic facilities in Benghazi that was later classified secret at the request of the FBI, according to documents released today, underscoring lingering questions about how responsibly she handled sensitive information on a home server. The nearly 900 pages of her correspondence released by the State Department also contained several messages that were deemed sensitive but unclassified, detailed her daily schedule, and contained information censored in the documents as released about the CIA that the government is barred from publicly disclosing. Taken together, the correspondence provides examples of material considered to be sensitive that Clinton, the front-runner for the 2016 Democratic presidential nomination, received on the account run out of her home. She has said the private server had numerous safeguards. Clinton's decision, while Secretary of State, to opt out of the State Department email account has become a political problem for her, as the Republican-led House committee investigating the Benghazi attacks has used the disclosures of her email usage to paint her as a secretive and above standard scrutiny. Well, you know what? Time will tell, right? How about this? The Islamic State militants purged Syrian town of Assad loyalists. Well, you know, Islamic State group militants hunted down Syrian government troops and loyalists in the newly captured town of Palmyra, shooting or beheading them in public as a warning and imposing their strict interpretation of Islam, activists said today. The purge, which relied mostly on informants, was aimed at solidifying the extremist grip on the strategic town that was overrun Wednesday by IS fighters. It also was part of a campaign to win the support of President Bashar Assad's opponents, who have suffered from a government crackdown in the town and surrounding province in the last 4 years of Syria's civil war. The strategy included promises to fix the electricity and water grids after Palmyra is cleared of regime loyalists, according to an activist in the historic town. The man is known in the active community by the nom de guerre of Omar Hamaz because he fears for his security. And this just in, we've got to notice that the fire department spokesman, military aircraft goes off the runway in San Diego Bay. That just came in this minute. I'll tell you more as we learn more about it. Now, do not go away, because when we come back, I've got more news for you. We're going to talk about the Amnesty says torture of Ukraine war prisoners is rife. We'll talk all about it right after these brief messages. Don't go away. If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. You know, nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group, no mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, you know, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And when we left, we were talking about the news. Let's stay with that. Amnesty says torture of Ukraine war prisoners is rife. Both warring sides in eastern Ukraine are perpetrating war crimes almost daily, including torturing prisoners and similarly killing them, the Amnesty International rights group said in a report today. Amnesty said in a statement that it has heard from former captives of both Ukrainian government and separatist forces who say they faced savage beatings, torture with electric shocks, kicking, and stabbings. Concern about the treatment of prisoners comes as Ukrainian authorities face scrutiny this week for publicly parading two men they say were Russian soldiers captured while fighting alongside separatists. Excuse me. Hundreds of Ukrainian troops are believed to have been captured by rebel forces in the year-long war that has claimed more than 6,100 lives. Both sides routinely accuse one another of mistreating captives. Under a February peace agreement, all war prisoners had been due for release in early March, but little progress has been achieved. Amnesty says it interviewed 17 captives of the separatists and another 16 held by government forces for its report that it gave out today. Well, California farmers strike a deal to cut water use. California regulators today accepted a historic offer from a group of farmers holding some of the state's strongest water rights to voluntarily reduce their water use by 1/4 to stave off deeper mandatory cutbacks amid one of the worst droughts on record. Officials hope the deal will serve as a model for more such agreements with growers in the nation's top-producing farm state, where agriculture accounts for 80% of all water drawn from rivers, streams, and the ground. We're in a drought unprecedented in our time. That's calling upon us to take unprecedented action, Felicia Marcus, chairwoman of the State Water Resources Control Board, said in announcing this agreement. The rare concession from the farmers is the latest indication of the severity of the water shortage in California, which is suffering through its driest 4 years on record. California water law is built around preserving the rights of the so-called senior rights holders. That's farmers and others whose acreage abuts rivers and streams or whose claims to water date back a century or more, as far back as the gold rush days. And how about a new trial expected for a man convicted? Oh, you know what? We actually talked about that. I'm not going to do that again. Let's see here. How about the federal data? As oil production soars, so do pipeline leaks. At least it seems that way, doesn't it? The oil pipeline leak that fouled a stretch of California coastline this week reflects a troubling trend in the nation's infrastructure. As U.S. oil production has soared, so has the number of pipeline accidents, or at least it seems that way. Since 2009, the annual number of significant accidents on oil and petroleum pipelines has shot up by almost 60%. Roughly matching the rise in U.S. crude oil production, according to an analysis of federal data by the Associated Press. Nearly two-thirds of the leaks during that time have been linked to corrosion or material, welding, and equipment failures, problems often associated with older pipelines, although they can occur in newer ones as well. Other leaks were blamed on natural disasters or human errors, such as a backhoe striking a pipeline. Industry officials and federal regulators say they have adequate means of gauging the safety of pipelines, but the aging infrastructure is a source of lingering concern for outside experts. Well, you know what? It's tick, 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 said Robert B., a professor emeritus in civil engineering at the University of California, Berkeley. Things get older, they don't get stronger. Boy, I heard that. Just common sense is what I'm hearing. How about you? Well, from a Mexican official, about 40 are dead in a shootout in a cartel area. About 40 people were killed today in what authorities described as a large-scale shootout between law enforcement and criminal suspects in western Mexico. Almost all the dead were suspected criminals, said a federal police official who spoke, of course, on condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to talk with journalists. But it did anyway, obviously. There were few details of the reported gun battle, but video obtained by the Associated Press showed federal police coming under fire and bodies strewn throughout a ranch. A local police official in the neighboring town of Puerto de Vargas said the location is called Rancho del Sol. The official wouldn't give his full name to the Associated Press, but said his department received a report of the confrontation from fellow police in the neighboring town, Ecuador, and was told to keep everyone calm. With dozens dead, it was the most violent confrontation between authorities and alleged drug traffickers in recent memory. The confrontation started when federal police officers tried to pull over a truck on the highway near the ranch, and as they got close, people inside the truck opened fire. Mojacan Governor Salvador Jara told Radio Formula today, keep calm. People are shooting at me. I'm not going to stay calm. For Pete's sake, this makes no sense at all. How about this? Vacation plans collide with must-do agenda for the Senate. With President Barack Obama's high-profile agenda at risk, the White House cajoled the Senate in public and private late today, to pass major trade legislation and prevent a lapse in the Anti-Terrorism Patriot Act before lawmakers rushed off for a week-long vacation. We can do all this today unless some want to delay it, said Senator John Cornyn of Texas, the second-ranking Republican leader, suggesting it might be Democrats who would. In typical Senate fashion, hours drifted by with little or no evidence of progress on the pre-holiday agenda, which also included measures to permit a continued flow of federal highway construction funds. By dinner time, the legislative gears had creaked into motion as the Senate turned aside a proposed change to the trade bill that had drawn a veto threat from the administration. Often the marking of time has been a prelude to a mad rush to complete legislation in time for lawmakers to catch late-night flights back home. Obviously, guys, what's important is not what's good for us and the citizens that they represent. What's important is getting home for the holiday. Yep. Well, TLC pulls a Duggar family series amid misconduct reports. TLC pulled the reality series 19 Kids and Counting from its schedule today, a move that follows reports of sexual misconduct allegations against one of the stars, Josh Duggar, stemming from when he was a juvenile. In a statement, the channel said, "It was deeply saddened and troubled by this heartbreaking situation, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family and victims of this difficult time." The statement didn't elaborate. Now, when we come back, I'm going to talk about the IRS loses. You don't want to miss it. The first case is when salary is deemed to be a dividend, payroll tax is refunded. I'll tell you all about it right after these brief messages. Don't go away. Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses: website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make the interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
And here we are, my favorite part of the show, the IRS Loses. We could call this today Business Winners Hotline. And our first case of the IRS losing is when salary is deemed to be a dividend, payroll tax is refunded. Let me tell you all about it. The IRS and tax court held that the salary paid by a corporation to its owner was excessive. Therefore, the company's deduction for it was disallowed. When the IRS submitted its calculation of tax due as a result of the disallowed deduction, the company and its owner protested that it didn't include a refund of the 1.45% Medicare payroll tax that each had paid on the salary. The IRS said that the tax court does not have jurisdiction over payroll tax disputes, so it cannot order a refund of the taxes. Well, tax court ruling was this. Whereas here, in an income tax case, payroll taxes must be recomputed to reach the correct tax result. The court does have jurisdiction, and the refund is ordered. You got to love this kind of stuff, right? I know I do. How about this case? The IRS loses. Death defeats a levy on a lawyer's bank account. You got to love it, right? An attorney died while still owing back taxes. A state court then ordered that his business bank account be distributed to clients for whom he had held funds and to trustees named to terminate the affairs of his law practice to cover their necessary costs and fees. But before the bank made the distribution, guess what? Sure, the IRS issued a levy on the account. So they went to court. This is what the judge said. After the state's court's order, the deceased lawyer had no interest in the bank account and its funds, which now belonged to his clients, creditors, and the trustee as fees. Therefore, there was nothing for the IRS levy to attach to. You have got to love this stuff. It just drives me nuts. It drives me crazy. I just love it. Here's the last case for you today, and that is the IRS lost. A bar's licensed owner shouldn't be treated as the owner. Let me tell you about it. Charles Manny wanted to purchase a bar, but a felony conviction kept him from obtaining a liquor license. So he reached a deal with his friend Ray Monk, who bought the bar, obtained its license, and opened business accounts for it in his own name. Now, Manny then ran the bar as Chuck's Place, and Monk moved 200 miles away. Manny paid $2,500 a month to Monk, and Monk treated that as though it was rent. Now, here's the snag. The IRS audited Monk, said he was the bar's legal owner, and taxed its income to Monk, to him. This is what the court said. That monthly payment of $2,500 did not vary, it indicating that it was actually rent and not profit sharing. In all other ways, Manny and Monk acted as tenant and landlord, so the bar's income was not taxed to Monk, nor should it have ever been. Leave it to the IRS to try and break their own rules or bend their own laws. You know what? You've heard me talk about being a fly on the wall when the IRS is doing things. That's where we're at right now when we talk about inside the IRS. And I've got a couple of cases. I'm probably going to just do one of them here for you and let you get an idea of what's here. You can use these precedents to defend yourself in court, if need be, or against the IRS, even if it's not in court. Here's the thing. What should you do when the IRS sends you a letter telling you to give them a call? After you come back out of your coma, this is what should happen. You know, sometimes it's not in your best interest to call the IRS as soon as you receive such a letter. I'll give you an example. Let's just say you owe the IRS money and you can't pay the full bill, but you will be able to pay the amount owed during the next 12 months. If you call the IRS, it's going to ask you to find statement listing all of your assets. Suppose you have a certificate of deposit or a brokerage account. The IRS is going to require that you break the CD or sell the securities in that brokerage account before it agrees to enter into an installment payment arrangement with you. Here's a better strategy. Don't call the IRS. Instead, send in monthly payments. By the time someone from the IRS knocks on your door or places a levy on your bank account, a good portion of that debt will have already been paid down. At that point, you can generally work out a time period, about 3 months or so, to pay off the balance of your debt without having to submit a detailed financial statement. Of course, you should talk to your tax advisor about any specific situations that are going on here, but that's really always going to be a good idea for you. Now, do not go away. We've got a call coming in from Pennsylvania. Yep, it's our own Dr. Stephen Tidwell, and he's going to continue with his brand new series, Tomorrow's Dentistry Today. I'll tell you all about it right after these brief messages. Don't go away. Do you suffer from autoimmune disorders, thyroid conditions, or weight loss problems? Geared for Wellness can help. Sean Lefebvre and his Geared for Wellness program employs a synergistic team including experts in the fields of chiropractic, diet, nutrition, and neurotoxicity. Together, their experienced team is trained in utilizing cutting-edge and up-to-date nutrition and cellular detoxification programs designed to treat autoimmune disorders, thyroid conditions, Graves' disease, weight loss resistance, fibromyalgia, and much more. Contact them today to schedule your 100% guaranteed consultation. If you don't agree that they can help you, you don't pay. Call them now at 442-400-4373 or go to their webpage at www.gearedforwellness.com. Again, that number is 442-400-4373. You'll be glad you did. Setup My Cell is a smartphone and tablet setup and training service that sends a tech to your location. That's right. Setup My Cell will send a live tech to your home or office for smartphone and tablet tech support and training. Their techs can fix email glitches, sync iPhones with Android, PC, and Mac, and so much more. Contact them toll-free at 888-628-1119. For individuals, learn about everything our techs can do to help you make friends with your smart device. It is our opinion that a basic setup should be installed onto every device. Learn how we guide you through the session to choose the best apps and configurations with training. And for businesses, loading apps, configurations, security settings, training, we are able to help with all aspects of your investment. Please visit our webpage at setupmycell.com, and don't forget to call us at 888-628-1119. Are you looking for real conservative talk from real conservatives? You need to listen to my good friend John Matthews on his radio show, The Conservative Syndicate. For over 50 years, the progressive movement has worked to redefine our Constitution by erecting an imaginary wall of separation between church and state through legislation and adjudication that encourages government dependence and the licensing of immorality that removes personal responsibility. The Conservative Syndicate seeks to tear down this wall through education, information, and engagement with those who seek uncompromising truth regarding the religion of politics and the politics of religion. It is time to reclaim our standing as one nation under God, hosted by John Matthews, citizen by birth, Christian by grace, patriot by choice, and conservative by all that is reasonable. John's radio show is globally syndicated daily. Go to his website at www.theconservativesyndicate.net for broadcast information. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:31 p.m. Pacific time. It is currently 60 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny. Well, not so sunny. It's kind of a little overcast Southern California. It's on its way down to 53 degrees. It's threatening a little bit of rain. But you know what? In California, we call that liquid sunshine. But you know what? Waiting in the wings. Somebody really special. Let's get it in here. Our traveling dentist, Dr. Stephen Tidwell, is way out in Pennsylvania, and he's calling all the way in from there so that he can continue his ongoing brand new series, Tomorrow's Dentistry Today. Let's get him in here. Yeah, I feel the same way. Hey, Steve, welcome aboard.
Thanks, Bob. That's such a great greeting, I tell you. I'm humbled every time I hear it.
That's only because I've been too lazy to actually do the one that I need to do. There's so much going on. We're picking up a couple more networks next week, and I need to adjust some things. And so I guess I'm procrastinating, and I should have gotten your stuff done last week. Now here we are this week. I still don't have it done, so I'm just winging it.
Well, it's a holiday weekend, Bob. You get a pass.
There we go. I love that. I love that.
There you go. Well, that's why I'm out here. I'm celebrating the holiday weekend out here for Memorial Day weekend in beautiful Waynesboro, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and the
you're close to so much.
hosts here, David and Margaret, have allowed me to use their landline so that I can call in today and talk to you. They were just awesome. Burgundy
Lane.
Fantastic. Don't forget that.
That is fantastic. Burgundy Lane. You know, that sounds like a wonderful place.
It really is. It's a cute little quaint town here in Pennsylvania. We're probably less than a half an hour from Gettysburg, and it's really a nice little place. We're right in the middle of town. We're going to walk to dinner here in a little bit. Just a really nice place.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So listen, what do we got on the agenda for today?
Well, I still love to talk a little bit about I've come up with a new little phrase for it, the 90-minute crown.
Be king for a day or queen for a day with our 90-minute crown, huh?
That's kind of it. Take yours and throw mine, and together we've got it. Yeah, king for a day with the 90-minute crown. You got to love it.
We had to recap a little bit for those people that may not have heard the show last week, Dr. Tidwell in his office has a brand new piece of state-of-the-art equipment where, for people, unfortunately, that have to have crowns, that long waiting period, where you go in and you get this impression of your mouth and the crown, and you get all this work done, and they put a temporary in, and you got to leave for a week or whatever it is, and then you got to come back, and they put the whole thing back in there again. And you know what? He's got a solution for this. He's got this brand new state-of-the-art equipment that it does it while you wait. I'll let you explain it, Steve. That's as much as I want to do. I don't want to do your whole segment for you.
Well, I appreciate it. You were paying attention last week, I could tell. Hey, the thing is that, when you need a crown, and I mean, a piece of your tooth breaks off, you heaven forbid just had a root canal, invariably something right in your smile has disintegrated, and now you need a cap or a crown. And it's kind of like it's kind of like having something come due. It's on April 14th or December 21st. Absolutely the worst time.
Wait just a minute. Who on earth would ever settle for a cap if they could wear a crown?
There you go. Very good. Well done. So anyway, but so here you are. You're getting ready to go on that round-the-world cruise, and your smile is broken. So, here I'm going to go, well, gee, I'll do what I can. I'll make you really nice temporary, but you can't chew anything, in the front. And, I'm going to take away, and if you're not real careful, this thing's going to fall out. And there you're going to be on your cruise or your honeymoon or whatever it happens to be, and you're not going to have a good smile. And so here with this now, in 90 minutes, I can make you a crown that fits right in there perfectly. I mean, I'm just amazed at how well these fit, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But, it's just an incredible thing with no impressions. You don't get any goop in your mouth. There's no temporary crown. You don't have to come back for a second appointment. You've already screwed up half of your day coming over and seeing me. You don't have to do it again. Get off work early, drive through traffic, get all the way over there, and you don't have to do it twice. You just do it once, and you're done. One 90-minute appointment, you're done. And so it's quite the deal. But you kind of understated it a little. It isn't one piece of equipment. There's actually three. We actually have one part of it where it scans your tooth. And this is where it really works because we've eliminated the analog steps of making a crown. The analog step being taking an impression which has distortion, pouring that up in plaster, which also distorts, and then from there we scan it, make it all digital, and then they mill it out and make it a crown. Well, now I'm scanning your tooth. We're starting digital. And so we scan your tooth. There's no distortion. That's why it fits so well. And then I design it right in the computer. It has a cute program that helps me do that. We design the thing, send it off to the milling unit, which is I put it out in the reception area because it's a real conversation starter. Let me tell you, what is that? And what is it doing? It's making all this noise. It's squirting water. What is that? It's making a crown for this person right over here. No way. Yeah, they're going to take it home with them. You're kidding. Everybody comes in with their cell phones. They're taking video of their crown being made. It's too cute. And then from there, we actually have a little oven. And I say oven, it's not very big. It's probably, it's about the size of your bed pillow. And it opens up. You put the crown in there, and it has a vacuum pump. And it turns this material that you've carved the tooth out of, the crown out of, into the perfect shade and makes it 3 times as hard. So now it's ready to be cemented. And and with that, see, this is the real neat thing. It used to be if you really wanted a really perfect crown made, the right color in the front, you had to send the patient over to the lab so the guy could look at it and try and match it up. Well, I'm doing it for you. I'm right there. I did one just the other day. Lady came over. It wasn't the smack in the middle. It was just the one just off to the side. And her teeth, she's my age, a little older, and so, teeth had some color to them. Well, I could sit there with the stain and actually match that up right there at the chair side, and until I had it right, bake it into the correct color, cement it in. She was thrilled. She just thought it was great. And of course, she came in after the temporary crown that I had made sometime before so that she could do some whitening because her tooth had broken off completely. And I had to do something for her, several months ago, even before I had the machine. And so she was thrilled. She's going, yeah, I want to get rid of this temporary. And, oh, you mean I don't have to get any more impressions? Yeah, where do I sign? She drove 25 miles to come out to the office so she could get that done. She goes, yeah, that's great. Was thrilled.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah,
I mean,
was.
That is just so I don't know, Steve, that you can put a price on convenience.
Well, that's the thing, and it doesn't cost anymore. I don't have to charge any extra. It really doesn't. It's all, it's right there, and I'm taking no more time because it takes 90 minutes. Normally, I would take an hour appointment, a half-hour appointment, so I just do it all in one appointment. So I don't have to charge anymore for my time. We just get right in and go. And actually, I save a little money on some of my impression material and stuff, so helps me pay for the whole thing. It's great.
Well, not only that, but you've actually made an investment in the convenience for your patients, and it's cost them nothing. You've made this investment, but but it's good for you as well. Oh,
it's great, and everybody. Oh, I'll tell you after we get back. I've got another one that was even more amazing on this trip, but it's really something. It's really something special. It's really changed my practice and how I look at dentistry. It's rejuvenated my enthusiasm.
Well, we're talking to our own Stephen Tidwell, Dr. Stephen Tidwell, with Tomorrow's Dentistry Today. You're going to hear a lot from Dr. Tidwell, but he'll be back right after these commercial messages, so don't go away. He's got more surprises in store that you just don't want to miss. We'll be right back. If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Leinberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. Are you in a hurry? You need dental work done? You need a crown done? I have got just the guy for you, our own Dr. Stephen Tidwell. He has got the newest technology available in his office that gets you in and out the same day with a brand new crown. Let's listen to what he has to say about it. Dr. Tidwell? Stephen?
Hey,
fella,
Bob.
You're on the air.
Well, here I am in beautiful Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, coming at you from the bed and breakfast called the Burgundy Inn.
You know what? That sounds like
so
a
gracious.
great... Sounds like a wonderful, wonderful place. Can you describe it a little bit for us?
Well, they have 6 rooms. I'm in a gorgeous room that has a big jacuzzi tub and a fireplace. So I'm really roughing it here, Bob.
I can hear that, boy.
Yeah, it's tough. And we went through each room has a theme. We have the Africa room. There was the wilderness room. There's several others, and Margaret has designed all the rooms, and David does all the work. He does all the lifting, and even he was showing me one of the beds, and he said, this lady from Texas says, hey, where do I get one of those? He goes, well, I made it myself. It's original, one of one. And she goes, oh, he says, but you know what? If you want to pay my travel expenses and buy materials and all that, I'll build you one.
These are friendly people. They sound just like my dentist.
They're really nice. Well, we were talking a little bit about it, and I remembered one thing. Not only do I not charge anymore, but insurance covers these crowns the same way as they do any other crown. And there's a little bit of a trick for us to bill it because of, sometimes we do more than one procedure on the same day, and insurances will be funny with that. But as long as we give them a narrative that says this is what we're doing and why we're doing it that way, they pay the same as they would if it was one that we sent out to the lab. So
you know what? I hadn't even given any thought to that, but I can see where that could be a little sensitive.
Well, and it's insurance companies always have the 3 Ds, the dilute, delay, or deny, and so they're always looking for a way to get out of that. So as a result, we have to learn how to play by their rules. It's just the way that works. But I wanted to tell you another story, too. One of my very best friends, actually, I consider him my best friend. Even I'm sorry, Bob, he is what I call my best friend because we were each other's best man. We started as college roommates, so I've known him for quite some time. And when I told him I had my 90-minute crown machine, he was so excited. He goes, well, he has a special nickname for me, but I'll just, it's something having to do with Tidwell. You can think about it from there. But he goes, Steve, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna have you make these crowns because I saw the dentist and he told me I need 8 crowns. He says I don't want to go running back and forth and do all that. It just sounds terrible. So he came down, flew down, picked him up at the airport, and we did 2 mornings. One on a Tuesday, one on a Thursday, and I did 4 crowns each time, and he was just amazed. He goes, when we were through, the numbness was all gone and all the rest of that. He goes, these are incredible. He says, this is fantastic. They feel so natural. I feel no pain. It's tremendous. He and by the time we were through, he was ready to go have lunch, and so we went and had lunch. And then the same thing the next time. Well, actually, we finished up, and I put him on an airplane and sent him home. But he just was thrilled. Let me ask you a naive question: Are crowns taking the place of false teeth now? Then is it something that you have an option for? The thing about it is on this, Bob, is when we're doing a crown, and this is where it's made such a difference. Since I've become a dentist, I've been right there. I've been riding the wave of the emphasis going from eventually ending up in dentures to saving all of your teeth. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing, people that are our age still have all their teeth. And it wouldn't be too much of a breach of confidentiality to say you have amazing teeth. I'd love to take more credit for that, but that's
you're my dentist.
for our generation is that people take a lot better care of their teeth, and as a result, we're putting crowns on instead of pulling teeth and making someone dentures.
Wow.
Or false teeth.
But psychologically for the patient, that's got to be so much better too.
Oh yeah. Well, and let's face it. If you want to chew, having your own teeth is definitely the best. Now, if you do have to lose a tooth, and now we have replacements that are amazing, like dental implants, and of course we do those. And I can even make the crowns now for the dental implants with my machine. But it's an incredible thing to where you can actually put a tooth back. You don't have to connect it to other teeth. You don't cause problems with teeth that had never had a filling or a cavity. You don't start making a bridge or something like this. You just put a tooth back. And,
so when people start to eat again, do they feel any different than they did when they had their real teeth?
Absolutely not. No, it's
just
like
way.
having a tooth. Yeah, it's just like having a tooth. It's I've had people that have several teeth in a row that are implants, just one tooth sit in a certain spot, even a front tooth. I did one of my earlier cases where two missing teeth, again, not the very central teeth, but the two next to it. Those are the most congenitally missing teeth, by the way, those two upper laterals. And we did those. The boy it was an incredible experience to go through. We did it through Loma Linda's surgical program because Mom was trying to save a few dollars. I learned a lot on that one. They were not as perfectly placed as I've come to expect nowadays, but it was a little earlier. We didn't do quite as much with bone grafting and things so that we could put things in just the right area. Right now I'm so particular because a good surgeon can actually put that titanium root in exactly the right spot so that I can have the best possible result, which means a perfectly natural looking, feeling, chewing tooth.
Wow.
Is that great?
That's unbelievable. That's fantastic. And so I'm guessing. Well, I shouldn't be guessing. Let's say a boxer, Mike Tyson or somebody like that. He gets his front teeth knocked out. Today, if a boxer gets his teeth knocked out, is there an option to have implants and crowns put in instead of those? I don't know what you'd call them, false teeth up in the front or that kind of.
Well, of course, and a lot of that has to do with, when you get your teeth knocked out in a situation. Actually, I had a lovely lady who many years ago in a car accident, the steering wheel took out about 5 teeth right in the front on the top. Mm-hmm. And I built her a bridge after our friend Dr. Wilkes had built her a bridge probably 10 years earlier, and I built her one that lasted another 10 years. And then we actually had a case with my oral surgeon where we actually got to put in dental implants after it took a lot of work because we really had to reconstruct the bone, and my surgeon, Dr. Dujiak, did an incredible job. And now she has, for the first time in her life, has something that she can really chew on. She is thrilled.
Wow. You want to give out your location information, and actually your website the best way because you've got 2 locations.
We have a location in Cucamonga, Rancho Cucamonga in San Bernardino, California. You can find me at www.tidwelldentistry.net, and that's the easiest way to find my contact info. You can see maps to my locations. It's www.tidwelldentistry.net.
And we're talking to our own Dr. Stephen Tidwell with Tomorrow's Dentistry Today. We'll be right back with Dr. Tidwell from his magnificent location. He's in the Seat of Comfort where he's at right now in Pennsylvania. He'll tell you all about it when you get back. Don't go away. Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make the interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're talking to our own Dr. Stephen Tidwell. He's talking about tomorrow's dentistry today. Well, Dr. Tidwell's in Pennsylvania at a magnificent bed and breakfast there that he's been describing to us. But he's really got my attention. He's talking about this new technology that he's brought into his office for doing crowns for people while they wait, while they're there. And he's got a story that just actually sent a chill up and down my spine. He told me a little bit about it during the break, and we're going to make sure that he tells you about it right now. Steve, you've got the microphone.
Bob, yeah, I'm here in beautiful Waynesboro, Pennsylvania at the Burgundy Lane Bed and Breakfast, and these gracious people have given me their only landline so I can talk to you. I was just amazed that they could do that. But I was telling you a little bit about the good news that we've got right now at the VA is realizing that they're a little overburdened, and we've all heard those stories. They have elected to outsource some of their dentistry and to dentists that have qualified and signed up for their outsourcing, of which I am one of the dentists that they have chosen to be able to do that. I've been working with several of our veterans that, and you have to have a fairly severe disability to be fully qualified for full dental coverage. So I'm seeing some pretty special people. These people have been disabled in military duty, and so whether it's active duty in a warfare situation, whatever happens. But, I'm seeing some very special people that have given a lot to our country, and it's really fun to be able to do things for them. And these people are generally not able to do this kind of work on their own. Happily, the VA is paying the bill, but a lot of these people would not be able to. And I've got one young man that I've been working with, and I told you a little bit about him. He has his 3 middle front teeth have been knocked out. They're gone. When I saw him, they were gone. And, he didn't smile much, obviously. And it really makes a huge difference in your self-image when you can't smile. When you're that embarrassed about your smile, you don't feel good about yourself. And you certainly aren't going to be too inspired to take good care of your teeth. So I looked him right in the eye and challenged him, and I said, I'll help you fix them up, but they aren't my teeth. You're going to have to chip in, and you're got to do your part. And by golly, he looked me back in the eye, and he smiled and says, Doc, you fix me up, and I promise I will work really hard on taking care of him. He's brushing, he's flossing, everything looks awesome. We've got him back just so far in a very short time. We put back a little temporary removable type thing, but it looks great. His wife is thrilled. The guy's smiling. He's so happy he can hardly stand it. And we're just getting started. Where he'll end up with permanent replacements. He'll have implants there. My surgeon has also qualified for that VA program. He'll place implants there. I'll restore those. This man will not only be smiling, he'll be chewing, and he'll have great teeth for the rest of his life. And
wow.
I'm thrilled to be able to say that.
Absolutely. You know what? I mean, that just sends chills up and down my spine. It makes it what a wonderful service to be able to provide somebody who put it all on the line for us.
Well, exactly right. And a Memorial Day weekend is a great time to think of that. And he's not the only one. And some of these guys we've done some fairly extensive work on. And even the people where we've worked on just 3 or 4 teeth and been happy to get them on their way, you can tell it's made a difference, and they're so appreciative. Each of these people have all expressed great appreciation for our efforts, as well as we've thanked them for theirs, and it's really great.
Wow, that's fantastic. Listen, the Waynesboro, is it Waynesboro Bed and Breakfast you're at?
It's the Burgundy Lane.
Burgundy Lane.
Of the bed and breakfast.
So
yes.
what you need to do is
we're
give out
in Waynesboro, about half an hour west of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Why don't you give out, if you have access to one of the brochures or something that are right there, if they're there, you can put them on the phone. Let them give out their contact information, their website, that kind of stuff real quick, because they're being so kind to let you use their facility there.
They're at www.burgundylane.biz. They're at 128 West Main Street in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, and their phone number is 717-762-8112, and that's Dave and Margaret Schmelzer.
Well, that's fantastic. If you can give me that website one more time, or actually, when we're off the air, if you could just send me an email with their email address, I'll send them a copy of the show. I'll try to isolate the stuff where you're talking about them.
Okay, perfect. I will do it.
Good. So, anyway, we've got about 1 minute left here, Steve.
I've got a little bit of fun trivia that I dug up that I thought you might enjoy. There's several famous dentists when you go online and you check it out, but there were 4 that kind of jumped out at me. The first one everybody can think of is Doc Holliday, of course, the gunman and whatever. He was a dentist, John Holliday. And then some of you may know that Paul Revere. Yes.
I didn't know he was a dentist.
Yeah, he was a dentist as well. No, he didn't make George Washington's wooden teeth. I thought that was one of the answers, but I did check into that. He did not. Zane Grey, the famous author, was a dentist and a professional ball player, could have been a professional baseball player. And then one of the other was Edgar Buchanan. You remember from Petticoat Junction?
Yeah.
He was actually a dentist, the little chunky, bald-headed guy.
Yeah. How cool is that? I didn't know any of those. And the one that really surprises me is Paul Revere.
Oh, really? Yeah. I knew that one quite some time ago. He was a silversmith as well as a patriot and a dentist.
Well, sounds good to me. Listen, unfortunately, we're out of time. What a great segment this was. I want you to stay safe. Have a great holiday weekend, Steve, and we'll see you and talk to you when you get back, and certainly everybody else will get to talk to you next week when you're back on the air.
That looks good, Bob. I'm looking forward to talking to you each and every Friday. Thank you very much.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Do you suffer from autoimmune disorders, thyroid conditions, or weight loss problems? Geared for Wellness can help. Sean Lefebvre and his Geared for Wellness program employs a synergistic team including experts in the fields of chiropractic, diet, nutrition, and neurotoxicity. Together, their experienced team is trained in utilizing cutting-edge and up-to-date nutrition and cellular detoxification programs designed to treat autoimmune disorders, thyroid conditions, Graves' disease, weight loss resistance, fibromyalgia, and much more. Contact them today to schedule your 100% guaranteed consultation. If you don't agree that they can help you, you don't pay. Call them now at 442-400-4373 or go to their webpage at www.gearedforwellness.com. Again, that number is 442-400-4373. You'll be glad you did. Setup My Cell is a smartphone and tablet setup and training service that sends a tech to your location. That's right. Setup My Cell will send a live tech to your home or office for smartphone and tablet tech support and training. Their techs can fix email glitches, sync iPhones with Android, PC, and Mac, and so much more. Contact them toll-free at 888-628-1119. For individuals, learn about everything our techs can do to help you make friends with your smart device. It is our opinion that a basic setup should be installed onto every device. Learn how we guide you through the session to choose the best apps and configurations with training. And for businesses, loading apps, configurations, security settings, training, we are able to help with all aspects of your investment. Please visit our webpage at setupmycell.com, and don't forget to call us at 888-628-1119. Are you looking for real conservative talk from real conservatives? You need to listen to my good friend John Matthews on his radio show, The Conservative Syndicate. For over 50 years, the progressive movement has worked to redefine our Constitution by erecting an imaginary wall of separation between church and state through legislation and adjudication that encourages government dependence and the licensing of immorality that removes personal responsibility. The Conservative Syndicate seeks to tear down this wall through education, information, and engagement with those who seek uncompromising truth regarding the religion of politics and the politics of religion. It is time to reclaim our standing as one nation under God, hosted by John Matthews, citizen by birth, Christian by grace, patriot by choice, and conservative by all that is reasonable. John's radio show is globally syndicated daily. Go to his website at www.theconservativesyndicate.net for broadcast information. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 5:07 p.m. Pacific time. It is currently 60 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. It's on its way to 54 degrees. It's threatening some showers out there, but we call that liquid sunshine here in California. But you know what? Waiting in the wings is our own David Garrett, attorney at law. Let's get him in here.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the bowels of the Hall of Justice, our own legal guru, David Garrett, attorney at law. Hey, David, welcome aboard. Good to have you here. As always, it's interesting because I can't hardly wait for the day that you're on because there's always going to be something unique happening in the law that it's going to be really interesting. You know, one of the things, by the way, did you happen to see, it just came across the wires just as I was going on the air today, the courts have decided not to hear the case against Casey Kasem's wife with regard to that abuse thing. So that's a dead deal. The kids are going to go nowhere with it.
Oh, interesting. No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so that's actually good news. And they found that she was actually protecting him, and the kids were actually just gold diggers.
Oh, jeez, okay.
So
Well,
there's so much stuff going on. You know, these 6 cops that on the Freddie Gray case. I guess they dropped a lot of the charges, but they have indicted all 6 of them. You know, on really serious charges. There's some charges that got dropped, but looks like those guys are going to be paying the piper here too.
oh yeah. I saw that it was a grand jury indictment.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. They. You know, I was actually talking to. It was an orthopedic surgeon about this the other day. We were just kind of kicking around what he really thought happened.
Mm-hmm.
And his thought on that case was that, you know, you see the video where they're kind of dragging him over to throw him in the van.
Mm-hmm.
He thought at that point they'd probably already paralyzed the guy, just because of the way his body was moving.
Right.
But
from his observation.
Yeah, but he didn't feel that was a life-threatening event, and kind of postulated that the life-ending injury took place while they were running around on that a little trip to the hospital or wherever they were going.
Well, you know, it makes you wonder. Yeah, it makes you wonder, David, if he was already paralyzed at that point from the neck down, right? So he couldn't move. He couldn't move anything. He had no control. If they took him on a rough ride, he had to be banging his head all over the place. He had no resistance, right? Yeah.
Well, that was what you know, what this guy was telling me. He says, you know, about the only thing that's going to kill you is if you manage to fracture C1, C2, and that's, you know, just at the very base of the skull. Mm-hmm. Pretty unlikely that happened. And otherwise, his guess was that it probably came from blunt force trauma to the skull.
Wow. You know what? Whatever it came from, it was miscalculated bad conduct and abuse, and I think certainly I think that the police. They sometimes, I got to be careful here because I don't want to make a generalized statement, because I think generally the police are good and they're dedicated. And you know what? When you get in trouble, you don't want to be calling a congressman. You need to call a cop. But there are a few of them that abuse the power, authority, and trust that the general public put into them.
Yeah. And you know, that's kind of my position. You get enough apples out there, sooner or later you're going to come across a bad one. But by and large, I respect the police and the job they do and appreciate it. Yeah. It's just every once in a while you run into these things that just shouldn't have happened. I don't know what else you say about this.
You know, it's interesting. I'm an old guy, right? And in my whole life, I've seen police use force when it was necessary. I haven't seen them be abusive, except when they were in tremendous danger. But in my life, in actual interactions, watching police break up fights and do things and handle drunks and all that stuff, I've really never seen the kind of abuse that I see so regularly on TV today. And maybe it's because we've got all these everybody's got a camera now. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I've kind of wondered that myself. I think a little of it is being sensationalized, things in the past that wouldn't make national news at 6 o'clock didn't get reported just because of the video thing. But there seems to be more of an incident of these significant injuries. The guy got shot, running away from the cops here, and
I mean those are
there's something going on.
Yeah, I think there is something going on. But, unfortunately, David, there's something going on the other side, too, because if the cop automatically draws just a drop of blood from somebody, it's going to hit the national news. They have blown this way out of proportion. They're looking to crucify everybody these days, and the police are considered guilty before they've even had a chance to tell their story.
And that's just a sad statement for society.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what it is. I personally hold a lot of the media at fault for that, because they're generating sensationalism, and my belief is it's probably to, sell more airtime.
Oh,
but,
sure.
A lot of times the police are doing the right thing.
Yeah,
and,
I think most of the time, not even a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I think most of the time they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I would definitely agree on that.
Now, if we could just get citizens to take pictures of the police doing the right thing once in a while, instead of just, they throw those away or erase them or delete them. They only want the bad stuff, because that's what's going to hit the news. If they were showing the good stuff, I mean, what a wonderful way of picking up the feelings that society have for the men and women that are out there trying to protect us.
Oh, exactly. And when you look at it, a lot of us go through our lives without ever having any significant encounter with the police. These significant encounters, you can't always say the guy was Snow White clean when he encounter commenced. So.
Oh yeah, you know what? We've got to go on a break, but when we come back, let's see if you agree with this statement. A lot of people actually deserve what they got, and they earned what they got a long time before they got caught. We'll be right back with our own David Garrett on the law right after these brief messages. Don't go away. If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group, no mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson & Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're talking to our own legal guru, David Garrett, on the law. David, during the break you were telling me about something new that's going on around, and it's crippling for many businesses. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm going to let you take that story over.
Yeah, this is kind of a nasty situation. I mean, I had a client telling me about this, and apparently what's happened is there's this software out there on the internet, and it's called ransomware. And the way it normally gets infected is you'll get onto a website, and it can come in and you get this little script in from the website or from an email. I was even told that sometimes these ads, context-sensitive ads where if you searched over the last month or two for, let's say, new cars, you'll notice how your browser starts getting a bunch of new car ads.
Yeah, it gets the cookies and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, these ads can have this thing embedded in them. And so you may not even know that you're getting the particular virus coming in, but you just click on the ad, up comes the picture, and because the distributor of the ads are not doing good practices, you can end up with this virus on the computer. And what the virus does is it gets on the local machine and it'll start encrypting all of the particular files that are on the machine. And then once it's gone out and done its stuff, it'll do the data files on the local machine. If you're hooked to a network and you got network shares going on, it can go down through those network shares and encrypt, the common shared data on the network share. So then you get this little pop-up, and it says, "We've encrypted all your data. If you want to get your data back, click here and we'll send you a key." And it'll be a key that's supposed to decrypt all this stuff and let you get your data back.
But I wonder if it actually does.
Well, in talking with some of the experts, they're saying it's the vast majority you'll actually get your data back. But these guys want to be paid in Bitcoin.
How the heck does that work? I mean, is Bitcoin? You hear so much about that. Is it really a legal tender that they can use and spend all over the world?
Apparently, it is. It's just fantasy money out there, and it you can even get on the internet and you can see it. The exchange rate varies for what a Bitcoin is. I mean, if you get hit with this thing and you're thinking about, hey, let's buy this back, well, you got to go figure out how to buy Bitcoins, and that isn't, from what I'm told, the simplest process to do. And the deal with this software is it gives you kind of a running time limit, from what have been hearing. If you get encrypted and you immediately go there and try and decrypt it and you buy the key right away, well, that costs a certain amount of money. If you wait, thinking, hey, I can get this under control, I can deal with this, well, the price goes up, and it just keeps going up the longer you wait, until at the end they just say, forget it, don't do it. We're not going to give you the key, and you never get pestered again. You just don't have your data.
What kind of money are they extorting from people?
Well, this one I heard about, they wanted 2.2 Bitcoin, which is roughly $550. If you didn't want to pay them $550 with Bitcoin, they would also take a PayPal gift card, or I don't know what it was, something similar to that, something that can't be reversed, and then the price was $1,000. And I've heard these numbers getting astronomical, but I'm not an IT expert in any stretch of the imagination, but when this came to mind, the recommendation out there is do not pay these guys, because it just encourages them to keep on doing it to other people, and they want you to report it to it's a branch of the FBI that tracks this stuff.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem with this ransomware software is it's a public key, private key type of encryption, and it's on a standard. I think they called it AES 256 or something. Mm-hmm. Bottom line is, it's a strong enough encryption that you're not going to be able to go in there and break the decryption on your own. You just don't have the horsepower to do it.
And obviously, these virus protection software are not catching it, huh?
Right. It can get by a lot of the virus protection software because the software doesn't act as if it's a virus. It's not doing anything malicious, because normal people on their computer might actually use encryption software. So the virus stuff isn't catching it. And the holder of the private key that you have to decrypt this software is ending up being companies overseas. Or not companies, hackers overseas, say in Russia or Romania or stuff like that. And
sure. Russia, Romania, Nigeria, we could probably name the countries.
Oh, you could, yeah. Sierra Leone would probably fit in there.
Yeah.
But the reason I mention this today is just because it's a fresh incident that popped up. And, I just thought it'd be knowledge for those that want to use it. There's, some IT guys can shut this stuff down so you minimize the damage if you get it, and also put in policies that'll keep it from happening. But it's an ugly state of affairs if you get hit with this deal. You're going to lose data.
Well, David, give out your contact information in case anyone would like to contact you, and we've got about 15 seconds before we go on a break.
Okay. We can be reached at the website. It's www.lawbbg.com, and our phone number is area code 909-945-5000. We're located in Rancho Cucamonga.
And we're talking to our own legal guru, David Garrett, and his segment On the Law. We'll be right back after these brief messages with more stories from David Garrett and his law practice. Don't go away. Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful and visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, General Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics, where at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, it is currently 60 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. We're talking to our own legal expert, David Garrett, on the law. And David, you've got the microphone.
Okay. Well, I ran into a couple of very interesting cases out of Oregon. And so I thought we might talk about these. These are kind of unique. Let me use that word for it. There's this guy that works up there in Oregon for a company that does pressure washing and gutter cleaning services for the homeowners. So they get this truck, and it has a compressor on it to give them the pressure. But as a part of the process, the employee is told, don't use the resident's bathroom. Here's a bucket. So the employer provides a bucket to the guy. When this guy decides, it's time to do business, goes and gets in the truck that's got the pressure washer in it with his bucket, only unbeknownst to him, the truck is not properly ventilated, and so within about a minute of running the pressure washer, the area that he went into in the truck is at dangerous levels of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, no.
He actually died from this exposure.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. So the family of the employee is suing, the manufacturers of the truck and pressure washing stuff for not properly ventilating. And I understand, that kind of this part of the suit.
Yeah.
But they're also suing the employer because there's apparently a law in Oregon that says something to the effect that you got to provide adequate restroom facilities for the workers.
Well, but if he's a service person, how on earth would you do that unless you had a flatbed, you were carrying a porta potty around with you?
God only knows. I'll tell you. The employer's getting hit with a $4 million lawsuit over this.
Wow.
And, that was the same thought I had, is what is the employer supposed to do?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Well, I think what he does is if the employer goes to the customer and says, look, if you want us to do this job, if my personnel need to use the bathroom facilities, you need to make them available to them.
Right.
I mean, that's the only thing you can do.
That would be the only option there.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. There's allegations here that the decedent was a methamphetamine user, and that was part of the reason.
But that's got nothing to do with the carbon dioxide poisoning.
Right.
Nothing
to do with it at all.
He could have been a heroin addict. He could have been any number of things, but he died from carbon dioxide poisoning.
Yeah. I think that's what the employer is using as an excuse for requiring them to use the bucket in the back of the truck, as opposed to what you suggest, and is tell the homeowner, you got to let my guys use the restroom.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea is, well, if I got these people working for me, the homeowners isn't going to want them to come into the house and use the restroom.
Well, I mean, if the state of Oregon has that kind of a law, then what do other service providers do? I mean, you got all these guys on the front lawn doing a dance, for God's sake. I mean, you can't. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Not the result of this case, but you know how you see those young kids when they have to go to the bathroom and they cross their legs and kind of hold it and do the little
the only thing you can do,
pee-pee dance.
Yeah. The only thing you can do is provide some kind of an instant setup pup tent where you can take your bucket in with you. And you set up the pup tent for the privacy. You sit there, you do your business, and then you put the lid on the barrel or the bucket and shut down the pup tent when it's time to go home.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's actually hundreds of these truck systems running around the state that are set up in an identical fashion to what this guy's truck was.
Wow.
So, and then let me give you the next one out of Oregon. This is kind of interesting. Judge orders an owner to pay $238,900 in lawsuit over barking dogs.
Holy cow!
That is a chunk of change.
$250,000 over a barking dog?
Yeah. These guys are apparently out in the sticks a little bit, and these husband and wife, they're living there, and then they get some new neighbors in, and things are fine for the first few years, but then the couple, the neighbors, decide to start raising mastiffs. And apparently mastiffs like to bark a lot. So, they ask them to stop it, quiet your dogs down. Then they get a couple of violations of, safety law or noise ordinances, which they don't change any of it. And this goes on for about 10, 12 years. And finally the people just say, forget it, we're going to go to court. And the judge orders the $250,000. But he also makes the people debark the dogs if they're going to keep it. So,
it sounds like this judge has a problem.
Yeah, there's something going on here.
Yeah, sounds like this judge has a problem.
Yeah, but that is a chunk of change for barking dogs.
Boy, I want to tell you, every neighbor that has a dog, the dogs have probably died of unnatural causes right after that judgment came out.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah. So, David, give out your contact information. Unfortunately, we're done for the day.
Okay. We're in Rancho Cucamonga. The website's www.lawbbg.com, and our phone number is area code 909-945-5000. And
we're talking to our own legal guru, David Garrett, on the law. He just got done installing a fish finder on his boat. So the next time we talk to David, I expect to hear that he's got nets of fish he's trying to give away because he can't possibly eat them all. David, have a wonderful weekend. Have a great Memorial Day holiday, and think about the people that are keeping us safe, will you?
I'll do that, and you do the same, Bob.
All right, buddy. You take care. Do you suffer from autoimmune disorders, thyroid conditions, or weight loss problems? Geared for Wellness can help. Sean Lefebvre and his Geared for Wellness program employs a synergistic team including experts in the fields of chiropractic, diet, nutrition, and neurotoxicity. Together, their experienced team is trained in utilizing cutting-edge and up-to-date nutrition and cellular detoxification programs designed to treat autoimmune disorders, thyroid conditions, Graves' disease, weight loss resistance, fibromyalgia, and much more. Contact them today to schedule your 100% guaranteed consultation. If you don't agree that they can help you, you don't pay. Call them now at 442-400-4373 or go to their webpage at www.gearedforwellness.com. Again, that number is 442-400-4373. You'll be glad you did. Set Up My Cell is a smartphone and tablet setup and training service that sends a tech to your location. That's right. Set Up My Cell will send a live tech to your home or office for smartphone and tablet tech support and training. Their techs can fix email glitches, sync iPhones with Android, PC, and Mac, and so much more. Contact them toll-free at 888-628-1119. For individuals, learn about everything our techs can do to help you make friends with your smart device. It is our opinion that a basic setup should be installed onto every device. Learn how we guide you through the session to choose the best apps and configurations with training. And for businesses, loading apps, configurations, security settings, training, we are able to help with all aspects of your investment. Please visit our webpage at setupmycell.com, and don't forget to call us at 888-628-1119. Are you looking for real conservative talk from real conservatives? You need to listen to my good friend John Matthews on his radio show, The Conservative Syndicate. For over 50 years, the progressive movement has worked to redefine our Constitution by erecting an imaginary wall of separation between church and state through legislation and adjudication that encourages government dependence and the licensing of immorality that removes personal responsibility. The Conservative Syndicate seeks to tear down this wall through education, information, and engagement with those who seek uncompromising truth regarding the religion of politics and the politics of religion. It is time to reclaim our standing as one nation under God, hosted by John Matthews, citizen by birth, Christian by grace, patriot by choice, and conservative by all that is reasonable. John's radio show is globally syndicated daily. Go to his website at www.theconservativesyndicate.net for broadcast information. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And here it is. It is May the 22nd, and it's somebody's birthday. And you know what? He was born in 1930, died in 1978, a politician and civil rights activist. Happy birthday, Harvey Milk. And here's one for you, a beautiful person born in 1970, a model and actress known for perfumes and for a series of legal issues. Happy birthday, Naomi Campbell. And here's one for you, another one, born in 1978, an actress in Big Love, and he's just not that into you. Happy birthday, Jennifer Goodwin. And then finally, born in 1982, speed skater, most decorated Winter Olympic athlete of all time, Apollo Anton Ono. And I'll tell you what, how about today in history? In May 22nd, 1826, the HMS Beagle departs on its first voyage carrying Charles Darwin. Yep. And how about this? In 1843, thousands of people and their cattle head west via wagon train from Missouri to what would later become the Oregon Territory. They follow what is now known as the Oregon Trail. And then finally, in 1992, after 30 years, 66-year-old Johnny Carson hosts The Tonight Show for the last time. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Because it was just 2 days ago that David Letterman stopped hosting The Late Show. It was his last time. Well, you know what? Our quote for today comes from Euripides, and he says, "He is not a lover who does not love forever." That's right. He is not a lover who does not love forever. Well, you know what? It's time for our secret daily teachings for your life. You've heard me talk about it. It's all about a positive mental attitude. And you know what? If you think for one moment that a positive mental attitude doesn't control your life, you are mistaken. A positive mental attitude will make your life fantastic, and it'll make the life for all the people around you better for it too. The secret for today is the truth is that the universe has been answering you all of your life, but you cannot receive the answers unless you are aware. Now, be aware of everything around you because you are receiving the answers to your questions in every moment of the day. The channels those answers can come through are unlimited. They could be delivered in the form of a newspaper headline that attracts your attention, or overhearing someone speaking, or a song on the radio, or signage on a truck passing by, or receiving a sudden inspiration. Remember to remember and become aware. I'm telling you, folks, this stuff really, really works. Well, let's talk about that Harvard business tip of the day. And the management tip today is use sensory cues to win people's attention. You know, your success depends on winning people's attention. If your team doesn't listen to you, how can you lead effectively? If you can't get your clients' focus, how will your business survive? Here are 3 triggers that call people to attention. First off, automaticity. Sensory cues like loud sounds, bright colors, and temperature grab our attention automatically. This doesn't mean that you have to shout instead, think about more subtle ways to use these instincts. For example, try giving a star prospect or client a hot cup of coffee or tea. And disruption. Pay attention when something violates our expectations. Try surprising your boss, your client, or colleague in a positive way. Ask an unexpected question, beat a tough deadline, or suggest taking a walk. And finally, how about reward? Incentives we can visualize have a greater impact on our attention. So when you're offering your team a retreat at the end of the big project, don't just tell them, show them a picture of the venue of their reward. That's what you want to do. That will get, I'm telling you, payoff in spades. Well, let's talk about those interesting but useless facts. Did you know the short phrases of organ music played at baseball game is called a tucket? You don't want to say that 10 times real fast. How about this? Did you know that in 1845, Boston had an ordinance banning bathing unless you had a doctor's prescription? Now, there's one for you. Can you imagine what Boston must have smelled like then? How about this? Did you know that research indicates that plants grow healthier when they're stroked? Yeah. Sort of that loving little stroke. You know, dolphins and humans are the only animals on the planet that have sex for pleasure. I don't know about dolphins, but it works for humans. How about this? Did you know that Coca-Cola was the first soft drink to be consumed in outer space? That's interesting, huh? Can you imagine what that contract cost? Couldn't have been. Well, how much Coca-Cola could they take, for Pete's sake? Did you know that the largest meteorite crater in the world is in Winslow, Arizona? It is 4,150 feet across and 150 feet deep. How'd you like to have been at the next to that when it hit? Wow. How about this? You know, the original name for butterfly was flutterby. Wonder why they changed it. Both of them sound good if you think about it. Did you know that the zip in zip code means zoning improvement plan? I didn't know that. Don't care, actually. How about this? Did you know that 68% of 16 to 19-year-old men always use condoms during sex? 18% usually, and 3% sometimes? 16 to 19. All right, works for me. How about this? If you have 3 quarters, 4 dimes, and 4 pennies, you have $1.19. You also have the largest amount of money in coins without being able to make change for $1. Now, there you go. Take that one home for you. And let's end with this one. Did you know car wash attendants in San Francisco, California, may not use old pairs of underwear to wash or dry vehicles? That is the law. I'll give you one last one. 97% of all paper money in the United States contains traces, you got it, of cocaine. Now, don't go away, because when we come back, we're going to talk about the emails for today. My first email comes from Dylan Culberson from Omaha, Nebraska, asking about a share basis in sales. So I'll tell you all about it right after these brief messages. Don't go away. If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson & Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And at 5:52 p.m. Pacific Time, it is currently 60 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. Well, we're coming down to the wire. It's time for our emails. I just want to remind you, as I always do, that, you know what, we try to answer these as thoroughly as we can, but a lot of times the emails you send me a little sketchy when it comes to the facts. And so we do the best we can with the information we have, but we always encourage you to contact a licensed professional in your area. And they'll interview you. They'll gather all the data from you so they can give you a good comprehensive answer and a legal one. And the nice part is they have to carry what's known as errors and omissions insurance, part of their licensing requirement. So if they give you a bad advice, they got to pay the piper, not you. That lets you sleep well at night and not worry about people knocking on your door or anything like that. I think that's a good way to go, don't you? They're always going to save you more money than they cost you. Well, today my first email comes from Dylan Culverson from Omaha, Nebraska, as I said, talking about a share basis sales, and says, I bought shares of stock in a company at different times and prices. Now I need to sell some before year end. Can I pick particular shares to sell for best tax effect? If not, how do I figure the cost of those I do sell when computing gain or loss? Well, Dylan, the general rule is that the first shares bought are deemed the first sold for tax purposes, so gain will be figured on the cost of the shares that you held the longest. However, It is possible to select specific shares for sale. To do this, you must identify to your broker the specific shares to be sold, and the broker must provide you with a written confirmation afterward that these shares actually were sold. Now, not all brokers are going to do this for you, so verify with your broker that he or she will do it. Now, go see IRS Publication 550. That's Investment Income and Expenses for more details on this. I'm sure you're going to be glad you did. And next email comes from Gregory Draper from Columbus, Ohio, asking about early retirement penalties and writes, is it true that one can take payments from an employer's retirement plan without penalty at age 55? Are there different rules here than for IRA where a penalty applies before age 59 and a half? Well, Gregory, the answer to your question is yes. If you terminate your employment with a firm in the year that you turn 55 or older and leave your retirement funds in its retirement plan, you can begin to receive distributions from the plan with no premature distribution penalty. Now, for IRAs, a premature distribution penalty generally applies if funds are withdrawn before 59 and a half. So, if upon terminating employment with a firm at age 55 or later, you transfer funds from its retirement plan to an IRA, you're going to have to delay the time at which you can take that penalty-free distribution as a result of that. So keep that in mind and do some serious planning before you move anything else. Always talk to a licensed professional before you move anything. Find out what your real options are. Next email comes from Tristan Eberhardt from Palos Verdes, California, asking about tax on prizes and says, I won electronic equipment in a sweepstakes and sold it. I received a 1099 from the sweepstakes saying the equipment was worth much more than I actually sold it for. After paying the tax, I barely come ahead. Is there anything that I can do? Well, here's the thing, Tristan. The value of the prize is taxable to you, and the sweepstakes was required to issue that Form 1099, but the amount on the 1099 is not proof of the prize's value. If you show that you could have bought it for a lower market price, it can be taxed at that lower price. You can use the price that you sold the equipment for as its value, or you can't do that actually because a resale typically brings a lower price than an original purchase. But electronic equipment often is deeply discounted at retail. If you can find an advertised price for equipment in the papers or on the internet that's less than that 1099 amount, you can report that value instead. So that's a good thing. Now, this is important. Explain the difference on your tax return to avoid an audit because they're going to be looking for it and they'll be flagged. So you want to be really, really careful about that. Well, my last email comes from Faith Cagney, and Faith is writing me from Brookline, Massachusetts, and asking about alimony. Well, you know what? I just assumed that Faith was a lady, but in this particular case it says, my wife and I are divorcing, but she wants to continue living in the same house with me. It's big enough for both of us to live separately until she gets a new one. If she does, may I deduct some of my home ownership costs as extra alimony? Well, unfortunately, the answer to your question is no. And your deduction for the cash alimony that you do pay will be put at risk as well if you try that. The IRS does not allow an alimony deduction when former spouses live in the same household, and it considers spouses who continue to live in the same home they formerly shared while married to be in the same household, even if they physically separate themselves from each other within that household. So go and get a hold of IRS Publication 504, and that's for divorced or separated individuals. And trust me, you're going to be glad you did that. This is one of those important areas. Now, I want to remind you again, always, always, always seek the advice of a licensed professional. They'll dig in and find out exactly what you need to know to make sure that you're getting the best bet and the best bargain for your buck here. They're always going to save you more money than they cost you. You'll find it well worth your time and effort. Now, I want to thank you for listening to Robert Cardoza Live at the intersection of business and politics. Robert Cardoza Live broadcasts on Spreaker Radio, Blog Talk Radio, MyCast Live Radio, and countless terrestrial stations worldwide every single Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. I also broadcast on Roar 1776 Radio and 365 Live every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. I always got to remember to say that Pacific time. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and YouTube, where you can listen to all of my shows 24/7. Go to my website at www.robertcardozalive.com and email me at robertcardozalive@gmail.com. Now, my next show, my expert contributor is going to be John Hanson, that little old wine drinker, talking about food and wine. And my special guest is John Kurth, the Wizard of Words, talking the syntax of success. I encourage you to tell all of your friends about my show here on the RLC Broadcasting Network. That's our show for today. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend them all the care, kindness, and understanding that you can muster. Your life will never be the same again. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. You know, the real secret of happiness is to make others believe that they're the cause of it. Robert Cardoza Live is brought to you by blogtalkradio.com every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. Now, go out and make it a great day. Your host has been Robert Cardoza, the technical advisor, Matchstick Digital, and your executive producer, also Robert Cardoza. Don't forget to join me again on next show at 4 p.m. Pacific time for another installment of Robert Cardoza Live on the Street at the intersection of business and politics. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, be happy, and good night, everybody.